Hi everybody, so my client's back for an infill. She's been wearing these nails for about 6 weeks, which is way too long, but she was sick and she had to remove one nail for the hospital for the saturation and everything. Yeah, so I'm gonna fix that later on. I'm gonna start with removing all the gel color, just a thin layer of gel polish. And she's wearing Builder Gel nails, so you're gonna see me applying that in a minute too. If you look at her index finger, you can see that it's really growing down, so I'm gonna have to fix that too, making sure that they come straight off the side wall again. So we're gonna do a nail shape correction. Yeah, and then we're gonna do a fun design with some ombre and a chrome on top, and afterwards I'm gonna apply a lovely design on top. But like I said, first I'm gonna remove all the color. I'm gonna see if there's any more lifting because she has been wearing these for quite some time, and she's got some lifting on this thumb, and the rest of the nails were fine. This was the only bit of lifting that she had, so yeah, nothing to worry about. Just gonna have to remove that and build it back up again. But also, our thumbnails are growing down, so I was gonna have to do a nail shape correction anyway, so it is fine. So I'm just gonna carve out the section where there's lifting, and I'm just gonna leave on that stuck. There's no need for me to remove any part that's still stuck. Why should I remove that? I don't know. You don't have to, in my opinion. You can just leave that on. So I'm just going to carve out the area that has lifted. I'm gonna carefully remove that part. I'm just being really careful because I'm focusing on such a tiny area that if I stay too long in one area, it will burn, except for this part that's not on her nail bed anymore. I could stay there a little bit longer, but the part that's on her nail bed, I have to be really careful not to burn her. Even with being very careful, sometimes clients still get a heat spike, that I've stayed just a tiny bit too long on the same spot. Things like that happen, but it doesn't happen a lot. So, and once I've got that all carved out, I'm just going to grab a tool and just get under there and take it off. And I'm not tearing the product off. It's stuck, very, very minimal to the rest of the product, not to the nail, but to the product. I'm just going to flick it off, and yeah, that's that. But I am being careful. I don't want to cause any more damage than there already is. So yeah, pretty nice. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same for the rest of the nails. Just take off the colored parts and leave on the rest. And like I said, the only bit of lifting I had was on her thumb. I do believe maybe a little bit around the cuticle area, just very tiny bits of lifting, but nothing major. So yeah, once that's done, we can just go ahead and remove the cuticle tissue and apply new products. And you will see me remove her cuticle tissue in a bit. I'm going to use my e-file and a small rounded drill bit to get rid of that tissue on top of her nail plate, and I'm being really careful. I'm just going to flake it off. Don't want to damage the nail plate at all. Yeah, so I'm not applying any pressure, and it's really satisfying. If you look up close, you can just see it flake off. It's really, really satisfying. So now I'm going to have to cut this nail form into shape, because if I were to use it as it is, I would create a curved down nail, which I don't want. So I'm gonna have to tilt this nail form up like that, and that will ensure a straight nail once I'm done. Just like that, it's tilted upwards. And that's why you have to cut the nail form, because you're gonna get gaps along the side walls if you don't cut the nail form, and product will seep through it, and you really don't want that. So now I'm gonna go in with my rubber base clear and create the first part of the free edge, which is not strong at all, but it really helps with the curing. Once I go in with cover builder gel, it will ensure that it will cure on top of the nail form. You know, sometimes if you use a cover color on top of a nail form, because it's so opaque, the light won't penetrate all the way through, and you won't get a proper cure, and it's really messy if you take off the nail form. You know, I really hate when that happens, so I'd rather work with a little bit of a clear base underneath. It will give me, you know, the assurance of a full cure. So here I'm going in with the first layer of builder gel. I'm going to work in multiple layers because I have to add a lot of product to do a nail shape correction and to fill in the gap, you know, from the lifting. And I really don't want to create any heat spikes, so I'm just going to have to work in thin layers. Same thing for this one, just going to apply a little bit of builder gel. And if your nail is not curving down, I can do an infill just like this without even having to file afterwards. You know, some of her nails are good. I don't have to file them afterwards, but you know, a few of her, I believe her thumb, her index finger, and her middle finger are curving downwards. The rest is pretty good. But yeah, using a brush like this, I could get away with no filing, and it would look absolutely pretty. Same thing for this one. Gonna build this one up. I believe I did 2 layers. Yeah, so I'm just going to add a slip layer, the first little layer like this, and it will help my bead level out very nicely. So I'm just going to apply the bead, pull it towards the free edge, leave it where it is because I don't need a lot of product on the free edge. Take my little brush and just make sure that it's covering the entire width and length of the nail. And yeah, that's basically it. I've got a little bit along the side wall, so I'm gonna have to pick up a little bit more product, apply it there, but I don't need much. And when that's done, I'm gonna give it a full cure and add a second layer later on. So I'm gonna do my first basic shaping with the hand file like that, making sure that it is coming nice out of those side walls. After this, I'm gonna go towards the lower arches, making sure that they are straight out of the side wall. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of filing underneath later on. So I'm applying a pressure on the very tip of the free edge. I don't want to apply too much pressure near the start of the side walls, you know, because you'll file a gap. And as you can see there, there's a pretty amount of product that needs to go. So first, again, basic shaping, like that, creating that almondy shape. And when that's pretty much the shape that I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and file the lower arches. And you will see in a minute how thick the product is, which I need it like that to create a nice straight nail. Once that's done, there's not going to be a lot of filing left. The only extra step that I have to do is take my e-file and file underneath those nails and make sure that they've got a nice curve again underneath. That is coming along nicely, as you can see. So now it's time to file underneath. Make sure that she's got a nice C-curve again underneath her nails. Yeah, so it's going to take away a little bit of her natural nails and yeah, thin out the products. And that will make it look nice and feel nice. And you can see in her middle finger that I've got a little bit of filing to do there, not as much as her index finger. And her ring finger, you know, it's even less product that I need to take away, and her pinky is almost non-existent. So yeah, for me, this works great. I'd rather work with more product on top and do this later on than take everything off and build it from scratch with a nail form. I don't know why that is, but for me, it's just, I like that way better. Right, so let's do some decorating. I'm gonna go in with this paint gel. I'm gonna go straight along the cuticle area like that, and pull a little bit along the side walls downward, and then I'm going to leave it alone and take a little sponge, and I'm going to create the first ombre. I'm not even going to apply any product on the sponge. There's enough product on the nail right now, and I need to have a really smooth ombre. I hate it when you see lines or anything, so there's more than enough product on there. I just need to dab it a little bit more than if you would have had product on top. But if I add more product, I'm not going to get the fading that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to do it like that. And I spilled a little bit, which isn't good, so I'm going to take it off straight away. Yeah, that is the downside with creating ombres. And I could use a brush doing this, but it takes forever and it, you know, doesn't look as smooth as I want it to be. But yeah, so now I'm gonna go in with the second layer. I'm gonna use even less product. I'm not even going to pull it all the way along the side walls, just at the cuticle area, because I want it to be opaque at the cuticle area. And I really want to let it fade down the nail like that. And I really don't need much. It's almost perfect. So I'm trying to be really careful not to touch your skin again, because that's a big no-no. And just like that, pull it down very carefully. Give it a cure. Next, I'm gonna go in with a yellow paint gel. Yeah, I'm going to repeat the same process. Just take my little sponge, uh, move it up to nail, and I'm not gonna go all the way into the pink. I'm just going to leave a um, little bit of space open there. I don't need to ombre it all the way up because I'm going to apply chrome over it anyway, and the chrome has a little bit of color to it, and it will make it look really nice having that nude space in between, if you know what I mean. See what I mean? Because right now it doesn't look that good, but you know, just wait a minute when that chrome gets over it. It just makes it look really, really smooth. So this is my chrome finish. I'm gonna cure that for 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna go in with my chrome. Let's pull it over there. Rub it in. You know, recently I've tried the liquid chrome. I really don't like it. I really don't. Um, I don't know. It took forever to dry, and I don't like waiting. And I thought it would be less messy, but it wasn't. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like it. You know, this works just as well for me, but you know, if it works for you, it's fine, of course. But for me personally, no, I'm just gonna stick to the powdered chrome. So this was a acid-free primer that I've applied straight onto the free edge, just the very tip of the free edge. It will prevent the chrome from chipping, and that way I can just go straight in with the top coat. If I didn't do that, I would first have to go in with a rubber base, which messes up the chrome a lot of the time. So I'd rather go in with a acid-free primer, and that way the chrome will stay on perfectly. And here are her nails. I think they are really gorgeous, but wait a minute, I'm going to show you a little bit extra after this. But yeah, I'm really, really happy how they turned out, and I asked if she wanted anything more on her nails. She didn't, so I'm going to have to show you in a few seconds. But yeah, they are really pretty, really gorgeous summer vacation nails, I think. So yeah. So these are the colors that I'm wearing right now, the yellow and the purple. So I've did everything the same as you could see in the video. I've top coated it, and once I've top coated it, I'm gonna go in on top of the top coat with the same paint gels that I've used underneath the chrome. Um, yeah, that's basically it. It's nothing more. This is just it. I'm just gonna go in, create some swirls and some little leaves, and yeah, where the yellow is, as you can see, I'm adding the purple, and where the purple is, I'm going to add the yellow later on. So just very, very fine lines like that. Once I'm done, I'm going to give it a full cure, and the design is, yeah, done. And here are my nails that I've been wearing for 2 weeks now. So I've got a little bit of growth there. But yeah, still looking good, still going good. So I'm really happy with these nails. I really don't want to take them off, but I'm gonna have to. But yeah, these are mine, and I've created some other nails too, same design, different colors. Really like the black and white one and the blue purple one. I like them all, basically, really. But yeah, lots of fun things you can do with this design. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've liked this video, and I wish you all a very good day. Goodbye.